Messier Mantra welcomes Tim Labonte.
Hey, Mike.
Tim, filmmaker, music video director, animator, all types of stuff. On this episode, we want to get right into it. Your first piece is a music video called Cast My Vote. And tell me about the musician and your own work on this.
All right, so there's this band, They Might Be Giants, like one of my absolute favorite bands. A lot of people know them, a lot of people don't. They wrote the theme song to Malcolm in the Middle. That's what they got their first Grammy for. And then they also got a Grammy for some children's work they started doing. Danny Weinkauf is the bassist of They Might Be Giants. And during these children's projects, he would write some songs for them, and they got really great feedback. Actually, they're some of my favorites on those albums. So he did his own solo kids album. He did a Kickstarter, and through that, I just contacted, like, as a fan, like, hey, I'm a, like, you know, those creepy, like, oh, I'm a video guy,
Sure.
like, I want to do a music video for you, and, like, I was ready for, like, a thanks but no thanks kind of response.
Yeah, right.
But he actually got back to my personal email, was like, hey, it's Danny from They Might Be Giants, like, yeah, when everything gets settled down, we can figure something out. He gave me Cast My Vote to do.
Let's check it out real quick and we'll come back and talk about it. On Messier Mantra, let's share Cast My Vote from filmmaker Tim Labonte.
And decisions throughout history. A single person may not think that they can really have a say, but when the votes are counted, everyone comes into play. Get me to the polls so I can cast my vote. Cast my vote. Cast my vote. Get me to the polls so I can cast my vote. Cast my vote today. Gonna exercise my right as a candidate who'll fight for what I believe in. Could the best choice be the guy who's always kissing babies? Or maybe it's the one who really loves to kiss the ladies. Get me to the polls so I can cast my vote. Cast my vote today. Amendment 15 changed the law and included all black men. But women called the suffragettes fought long and hard to win. Amendment 19 said those women needed voices too. Now all citizens can register. It's great for me and you. It's great for me and you. It's great for me and you. Get me to the polls so I can cast my vote. Cast my vote. Cast my vote. Get me to the polls so I can cast my vote. Cast my vote today. Cast my vote today.
Messier Mantra, welcome back, Tim Labonte. We just saw Cast My Vote, and you were saying about the process. You get in touch with him, he got in touch with you.
So he wanted like a Schoolhouse Rock
Exactly.
feel, and that's exactly what I was thinking for the video. So I make like these like characters that kind of look like Schoolhouse Rock. Just did like that basic white background like Schoolhouse Rock videos. And I'm a huge fan of Schoolhouse Rock, so I know all the motifs like that they use and everything. So that's what I did. He loved it, and it got into a couple festivals, the Green Bay Film Festival and another family one in North Carolina. And yeah.
It's pretty nice. And I was watching them myself. I even wrote down Schoolhouse Rock type of thing. What editing program? There's a lot of people who are technical who want to know that.
What I do is I would first storyboard it, then I would draw it in pencil, then ink the final picture. Then I made a lot of watercolor templates because I always liked that marker paint look in Schoolhouse Rock. Scanned all those templates, then filled in the areas in the illustrations in Photoshop that I wanted. Then all those separate images I put in Premiere, which I edit because that's the editor I know.
Right.
And then just keyframed them, moved them around to what I wanted in the storyboard, and that's how I did it.
Let's take a look at your next piece of work. Let's take a look at it. I'm all tongue-tied. I'm excited.
It's Claire and the Potatoes.
Claire and the Potatoes. Let's take a look at Claire and the Potatoes I Want to Be Your Shadow from Tim Labonte right here on Messier Mantra. Welcome back to Messier Mantra. We're here with filmmaker Tim Labonte. Tim, Claire and the Potatoes, I Want to Be Your Shadow. Now, it kind of reminded me of that Police song from way back when, Every Breath You Take.
Okay.
You know, it kind of has that romantic but kind of a little creepy type of deal.
And I think I kind of made it that way.
Right.
So there's this artist I like, Mark with a C, and I've been a fan of him for a couple of years. And I just like would email with him. We weren't like friends, but like just email once in a while. And I showed him Cast My Vote because he was the Miami Giants fan, and I just thought he would like it. He's like, dude, I'm doing this side project, Claire and the Potatoes, right now. It's like that old 60s TV Saturday morning feel. What you did with Cast My Vote, it would totally fit Claire and the Potatoes. And then now there's another artist I love that wants me to do another video. So he hired me, and he said, just do whatever you want.
Right.
Like, and so when I heard the song, what clicked was this girl being the shadow of this guy obsessed with him.
Sure.
Even though that's not what the song's about.
Yeah, right,
but,
right.
But that's just what I felt. So I made it in that exact style. That's why it looks the same.
Right.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And then the next piece we have from you, once again, is Mark with a C.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's funny because now I'm realizing it's just M-A-R-C. That's how we spell
Yeah,
something. I didn't know.
Mark.
I was like,
Yeah.
now I get it. So Mark with a C with, it's called The Sometimes. Is that right?
Yep.
And let's check it out right here on Messier Mantra. Tim Labonte's Mark with a C, The Sometimes.
Socratic irony. The sometimes come and they sometimes come for me. Roughly every couple months, then again, maybe more. It only lasts about a fortnight. In case you're keeping score, I can say with authority, despite the lack of consistency. The sometimes come and they sometimes come for me. Make reparations just in case. The sometimes come and they sometimes decide to stay. They sometimes come for me.
We're back on Messier Mantra with Tim Labonte. So now you're working with Tim with a C on another piece.
Mark with a C.
Oh, Mark with a C. I don't know what the hell's going on. So 50s nostalgia is the theme of this piece, and then on top of it's the animation that you did, which kind of follows a storyline. Tell me how that came to be.
So Mark just loved my work I did with Claire and the Potatoes. That actually led to 2 more videos. So Claire and the Potatoes is actually a trilogy. It's about this girl, her getting caught at the end with the police, her going through court, and then her getting out of jail and it's all cool. It's on it's all on the Mark with a C YouTube. But so with the Sometimes, I wanted a different look. I didn't want to do that same like cartoony look. And I was having trouble. He's like, here's the lead single, like, do it. I legit thought of it like a week before I started actually making it. I didn't know what to do. And I just thought of this guy being lost in life on top of like commercialism and everything, and just trying to find his way out. And I guess that's what I was like.
Yeah.
That's the message. Well, that's what I feel is just this guy trying to get out of just the weight in life of ads and TV and
Commercialism of everything we do.
Right.
Can't even have a drink of water without having a label on it, so to speak.
Right.
Except on Messier mantra.
Yep.
But.
And I used the 16mm archive from archive.org, which is all public domain stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then I wanted to use Squiggle Vision because I'm a fan of home movies and Dr. Katz, and thought, oh, what if I tried it and I would just draw the same image 3 times, put it close together, and that's how I got that Squiggle Vision look.
And this video played at the Scene Festival, which just want to give a little tip of the hat to that you're involved with quite a bit.
Yep, I got an honorable mention for music video at the Scene Film Festival in Providence.
Which is every spring in Pawtucket and Providence, Rhode
Yep.
Island. So let's take a look at your
And
next.
Warwick.
Oh yes, yes. I hate to dismay Warwick, Rhode Island. So now we take a look at ACLU benefit. Why aren't I famous? Now this is an interesting one. Let's check it out and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
I played with Adam Green, the Dresden Dolls, Andy Sinonius, Kevin Mahal, the Gossip, and Jeffrey Lewis, Das Racist, and Bomb, the music industry, Herman Doonery for the Riff Raff, the Handsome Family, Mount Erie, Chad Fair, David Peel, Calvin Johnson, World Inferno, Friendship Society, and Kimya Dawson. Why aren't I famous? Why aren't I famous? Is it 'cause I'm not shallow, don't care about sound or appearance, production on my records, highlights of lyrics, or is it 'cause I don't believe in marketing? I think it's evil mental rape, forcing you to ruin what's beautiful, or is it 'cause I don't try to appeal to teenagers, the only group for whom music really matters? Why aren't I famous? Why aren't I famous? And yes, I wish I had more fans. And maybe it's that I don't have a band, 'cause morons love rock bands the most. That stuff is so boring, I don't care about those who'd rather hear me play Tool songs in a bar, get drunk and not listen, then I'd go far. But I will compromise and play Tool. That I think is boring, maybe that is it. Or is it that I'm interested in instantaneous gratification? I don't care about the stuff you have to listen to again, 'cause I was figured if I gave you an endless supply of awesome entertainment, your love for me would never die. Why aren't I famous? Why aren't I famous? Maybe I brought this on myself, so I don't appear to need your help. I look like I'm okay, I'll tell you the truth, I'd love to be a different way. Love playing songs to 20 people every night, but I'd rather play to packed houses under stage lights. I'd rather quit my job as a professor and just do this all day, 'cause this is what I was born for. But I'm not complaining, 'cause I love performing and entertaining, and I make a good living, and I get the groupies and some of them love me. But why aren't I famous? Why aren't I famous?
We're back with filmmaker Tim Labonte. Tim, why aren't I famous? You know?
That's the question Noah has in that video.
Yeah.
So another favorite artist of mine is Stephen Merritt. He has like the Magnetic Fields. You might know that group. But I went to go see him in Boston, well, Cambridge, and this guy opened for him, and he went by ACLU benefit. He was hilarious. He was catchy. Like, I just loved everything about him. Like, I want to work with him.
Sure.
And so I did one of my creepy. Like,
does anyone not answer these creepy things?
A lot of people respond. I just give my credentials. Like, I have 2 Emmy nominations. I have an AP award. Just so I'm not some schmuck with a handy cam.
Yeah, you got Natalie Portman's email. What's going on here?
and I sent that to him, and he said, "Oh, I actually have this video idea that would need a schmuck with a handy cam."
Okay. Oh, okay. Right.
So we found a day in the summer and went over, and he's like, "Yeah, so I always wanted a video like with a bag of flour being dumped over my head." And he wanted that song of his, "Why Aren't I Famous?" And so so we went in his bathroom, set it up, and that's how I got the video. And then it was kind of like, what am I gonna fill? I just don't want him singing. So I was like, why don't you start like putting flour all over you and like beat your chest? And that ended up working because he's just singing with the drum that he's hitting. So it's just plainly an experimental
it's good
film, but I also dabble in that. So
works with the kind of the novelty or the social commentary value of the song too.
Yeah.
Kind of like Alice's Restaurant from Arlo Guthrie several years ago. And technical question for me, surprisingly, how did you work on syncing the audio and the sound of the hand as the drum? That seemed like it was big task, I would guess.
No, we just played the song.
Oh, okay, and he's lip syncing.
Yeah, and he's just lip syncing with it, and we went through the song about 4 times, and I just got like the shot of his eyes singing, his mouth a couple times singing, the first take with the flour being dumped in him, and he wanted him coughing, so that's why he's coughing through it. But and I told him like that you're gonna be coughing.
Yeah, a lot of powder going on. Feel sorry for the person that had to clean up that bathroom.
He did.
Now we take a look at going back to Mark with a C. Where's My Giant Robot? Now this one's kind of a romantic piece, so let's just take a look at it and we'll come back. Messier Mantra welcomes Mark with the C's. Where's My Giant Robot from filmmaker Tim Labonte.
Where's my giant robot? Where's my giant robot? The one I always wanted when I grew up. Where's my giant robot? Where's my giant robot? The one I always wanted when I grew up. Where's my giant robot?
Tim, this piece I saw recently and watched it again, and it's really kind of like a really great thing because you've made these robots kind of personified, almost a romantic relationship. And I had a couple of thoughts on that. It's kind of like these robots do have a personification of human in a sense because you can see like the love and the kind of the romance. Tell us about that.
Again, Mark sent me a song. Actually, this one, it's weird. He kind of picked. He had someone that was going to do a video for it, but it fell through. Yeah. But I told him right when I heard the album, I was like, man, like I heard that song. It was my favorite one on the album. I'm like, I know what to do. Like I'll do a video for that. And so I ended up being able to. And the song is really about this guy who's, I have a house, a car, a 9-to-5 job, all this. But where's my giant robot? I always wanted a robot when I was a kid.
Okay.
Like
the
that
search
kind of
for
thing.
never-ending consumerism.
Yeah.
That's the name of my new book.
So when I heard the song, I was gonna have a robot lost wandering in the human world, and a guy finally finding his robot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, what if the giant robot is like a girl he likes?
Sure.
Who's just like a bigger robot than him.
Yeah.
Like go into that like whole like no image kind of thing, like, or maybe an image. Maybe he has a thing for big girls. I don't know. So so I kind of turned it into that and just kind of split it up with like his fantasies with this girl he loves or his fantasy girl, and then he finally finds that fantasy girl, and that's how that story came around.
I think it works because, like I said, the personification, if it was just a couple of robots sitting around, nobody would care, but the fact that they're going on these dates, these romance, and the twists and turns, where do the actual robots come from? Is it
Hong Kong?
Okay.
Yep, I ordered them from Hong Kong. You could probably just go buy the same robots, but I looked through a bunch of wind-up robots to see what what looked right, and those two looked good to me, and it was perfect because the girl was bigger than the male robot. So Venus Robot, that's what it's called.
Same. Hopefully, you know, she's got a big career ahead of her.
So how I shot it was I shot everything first, and then went on a green screen with the robots, and then kind of like angled it and placed it, and then put them in the scenes.
Tim, we're running out of time once again, and let me just ask you this. What is a mantra for Tim Labonte, filmmaker, that you want to share for the Messier Mantra audience?
Something I always lived by was from Bill Cosby, which unfortunately he's been running into the
a little pudding pop trouble. Sure.
Yeah, we can call it that. But he always said, "I don't know the key to failure. No, I'm sorry. I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everyone." And that's what I've always kind of made my films by, and just do what you think is right and make it, and don't think about others. Just it'll find its audience, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a shame what happened, as you said, the pudding pop trouble. But when I was young, I always listened to him, you know, like as an artist. But
Tim, we've reached the end of this episode. We had so much material from you. I really want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
And best regards for moving forward with Standstill Pictures. Thanks for watching Messier Mantra with guest Tim Labonte. We'll see you next time right here on Messier Mantra.